Hey guys, it's me, Veles-Sage. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. In this video, we will be revisiting my OC Seraph from my very first vid. In the first video I ever made, I shared with you a pic of my OC, Seraph. In that video, I went over his powers, backstory, and personality. I also mentioned an ability he had called the Empyreal, and I promised to do a video about that when the time came, as I felt it deserved a greater explanation and in-depth discussion. If you haven't seen the first vid, I will link it down below so you can see the full story of Michael and how he came to be. Also, I need to thank Brandon, who drew this new pic and the old and did an amazing job. I will link his Instagram down below if you want to check out his work or request a commission. Now before we continue, let's do a quick rundown of Michael. His code name is Seraph. He lives in Seattle, Washington with his parents Nathan and Mary and his older siblings Maya and Paxton. He is an Afro-Asian American and is of Jewish ancestry and practices Shinto like his mother. He is a new human and his powers are a pair of wings that allow him to fly and defy gravity, which he can retract into his body. Angel Fire, an energy he can project and manipulate as concussive blasts, incinerate objects, create force fields, and weapons. Soul Vision, which allows him to see the souls of others to learn information like their emotions or personalities and see invisible beings and mystical energy, as well as Healing, which he can use to survive and recover from fatal injuries, as well as heal other people, which allows him to feel their physical and emotional pain. Each of his abilities have their own weaknesses and burdens that Michael must learn to adapt to, but the most dangerous ability is the Empyreal itself. Even though it does give him a massive power boost, it is dangerous for him to use and something he tried not to due to its danger and its aesthetics. There are many heroes with a power like this. Carol Danvers has her binary form. Doctor Strange has used certain magics which give him a power boost, like when he channeled the power of Zom when he fought Hulk's Worldbreaker form during World War Hulk. Wonder Woman could tap into her true divine power when she removes her bracelets, but I'm not sure if that is still the case after Rebirth. Another example is Kyle Rayner, who became the first White Lantern after he mastered all the 7 emotions of the Lantern Corps. We can also see this in anime and manga like Naruto, Bleach, Hunter x Hunter, My Hero Academia, Black Clover, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fire Force, and of course the Dragon Ball series, which wrote the book on power-ups, not to mention 1,000 more, which I'm sure any of you can think of. And now I think it is time I stop making you all wait. I bet you all are wondering what is so special about it and what does it look like. Well, let me finally show you. Pretty cool, huh? Once again, I need to thank Brandon for doing this. I mean, the details and the coloring are just perfect. When I first thought up of him having a super form, I knew I wanted to give Michael a form that greatly enhanced his angelic appearance. I was highly pleased with, his regular look, like what we saw before, but I wanted to take it a step further. But the question was, how could I? In his normal mode, he has several tattoos on his body. He has wing patterns on the sides of his arms and legs and a Hamsa-shaped marking on his chest, which is a symbol of protection that is popular throughout the Middle East, which is believed to be a symbol of protection. The wings were inspired by his namesake, the Seraphim. All these tattoos turn gold when he transforms into the Empyreal. I was also inspired by marble statues of angels for his skin in this form. I feel like it would help add a certain ethereal and inhuman look to him. His normal midnight blue hair becomes a bright, more vivid color, and tendrils of yellow flame trail from his eyes. But I want to take it a step further, so I delved more into lore to find ways to make his super form look more unique. Now, despite what some may think, not all angels look like humans with wings. In fact, some of them are described as looking nowhere near human. Like the cherubim, who had 4 wings and the faces of a man, a lion, a bull, and an eagle. Or the Ophanim, who were wheels within wheels with many eyes. The seraphim are described as having 6 wings, 4 of them to cover their body, and 2 they use to fly. I originally considered giving him 6 wings in this form as a reference to his his namesake, the Seraphim. And, you know, I realized that although that would look cool, they wouldn't really add anything else, and it also felt like they would look awkward for when he was like flying or in a fight. I also considered making the Empyreal look a little more bestial, like the Cherubim, but didn't want the transformation to be that drastic. I wanted to keep it something human looking at least, but definitely celestial, angelic, something heavenly, divine. During my research, I came across a figure from Yazidi religion called the Melek Tos, which literally means the peacock angel. Now, I don't know why, but I had read about angels having multiple eyes, like Azrael, the angel of death, who has wings on their who has eyes on their wings. But for some reason, it wasn't until I read about this guy that I actually thought, hey, instead of giving him actual eyes on his wings, I'll just give him eye-like markings on his wings, which light up to resemble his eyes. You know, make it kind of like a peacock with their little eye-shaped things or markings on their feathers. When he enters this form, angel fire pours from his body. I imagine it coming off him like wax inside a lava lamp, floating up off his body before it dissipates into the air. Since his power is so intense now, it is as something he can't fully contain, but not in a destructive way, more like a warning sign that he's the only thing between you and an ocean of holy flame. Plus, I also figured like it would give him like that kind of like energy halo effect that you see in like, you know, cartoon shows or an anime where like when they power up they have like the kind of like aura of like raw power coming off them. And finally, I decided the halo because, well, angels. But I wanted to look more ornate than just a glowing circle over his head, you know, something that adds a little majesty to his character. Now, while this form can boost his power levels to a serious degree, I knew it was important to add some drawbacks to keep him from just using it all the time or being OP. You know, it's like he's fighting the final boss or whatever, and you know, it's like, I'll just use that form I could have used from the very beginning to just, you know, instantly end this fight. Or, you know, just, you know, end the fight before it even really begins. Now, normally he is immune to his angel fire. Like, if somehow it gets redirected at him, it just goes back inside his body. But the sheer power he taps into is too much for his body to take. Even after he powers down, there will be visible signs ranging from heat rashes to burn marks depending on how long he remains transformed. These injuries will heal, but they will require time. Since, you know, he's been affected by his own power, he can't just use his power to heal himself. Another drawback is the fact Michael hates using the Empyreal, not just because he fears it will kill him, but because it turns his skin white. Michael takes great deal pride in his ethnicity, so it offends him to see his melanin bleached. I did this to add a more personal issue for Michael to take with this form. Often the hero's superform is a source of pride, but in Michael's case, it makes him feel like it robs him of his cultural identity. And he also feels like it kind of like sends a bad message, you know, with like, you know, a dark-skinned hero's turning pure white, you know, to gain more power. Finally, using the Empyreal uses up a lot of Michael's stamina, leaving him weaker than he was when he entered this mode and requiring rest and food to replenish himself afterward. Now, in time, and with practice and training, it is possible for him to endure longer periods in this form without harming himself, but that is going to be part of his development as a hero. The Empyreal has gone through many changes and alterations over the years, but in the end, I am very happy with the final product. And that is where I am going to end this video. Once again, I want to thank Brandon for his time spent drawing for me. Brandon, I really appreciate it. In my next vid, I'll be talking about Namor, the Submariner. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell. Thank you all for watching. This is Veles-Sage. Peace and blessings to you all.